So, without further ado, City Manager Tony Delgado.
Thank you all. And what a marvelous day, but more importantly, look at this park. Look at what has been brought together by an incredible public-private partnership. And I can't say enough for those folks who are all involved. This has turned out to be something incredibly special for this Webster neighborhood. Before I get started, I want to introduce some of the folks that are here today. We have with us, of course, our mayor, Mayor Howard Wiggs, City Commissioner Philip Walker is with us today. City Commissioner Jim Moless is with us today also. Some of our department heads are here with me today. Deputy City Manager Brad Johnson's out in the audience. I see Chief Larry Giddens, who had a wonderful night last night with National Night Out. Also Chief Gary Ballard's with us, as well as a whole group of incredible public employees who've helped not only with this park, but help every day what we try to do with the citizenry, and that's to provide ultimate customer service. I also have with us today Sam Simmons, who's the president of Webster Neighborhood Association. Sam will be speaking a little bit later on. Let me kind of give you a little bit of an overview of what we have. Those of you who've been here a long time know that Webster Park was donated to the city back in 1973 from the Polk County School Board. So it's been here a very long time, and this neighborhood has kept an eye on it for a very long time. It was the former site of the Webster Park Elementary School. The site is 2.2 acres, and in 1997, the original picnic pavilions and the playgrounds were installed. What has happened, and what we're celebrating today, is the fact that a great company, Universal Property and Casualty Insurance, came forward and said, we want to help you. And they provided $190,000, folks. Yeah. A private company coming together and saying, we want to provide funding to make this park special again. So they provided $190,000, folks, and let's give them a big hand, because you don't see that very often. I also want to thank our Midtown CRA and the folks that are here. I see Patricia and Nicole and a bunch of others, because the Midtown CRA, who's part of our city umbrella, also provided money to the tune of about $17,800 to help make this happen. And then last but not least, you see all those guys in the back and gals in the back in blue and black T-shirts and burgundy shirts, our Parks and Rec department. I want to thank them not only for doing the work and helping do the work, but also having the Parks department provide $25,000 to make this a reality. Woo! We've taken playground equipment for 2- and 5-year-olds, playground equipment for 5- and 12-year-olds, and we've installed them in the park. We've done independent play elements, swings, 2 new picnic pavilions, new fencing, drinking fountains, benches, trash receptacles, all the things that you would imagine would be in a first-class parks and recreation facility, and it's a reality here in the Webster neighborhood. So once again, want to thank you all for being out. Saw everybody playing earlier. Not a bad park, huh, kids? Not a bad park? Thank you all for being here. A very special day for us in the city of Lakeland. And now I'd like to introduce our mayor to kind of give you a few more details and introduce our friends. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. Well, we love parks in Lakeland. All you young folks, this park is for you all and your families. We love parks in the city of Lakeland, and we love the great job that our Parks and Rec department does on those. This is a special day, particularly because we had a company, as Mr. Delgado said, who said, we care about Lakeland, we care about community, and we care about these children. And so we want to do something special. We want to enter into a partnership, and we want to donate, again, as Mr. Delgado said, $190,000. We don't get those kinds of contributions very often, and when we do, we want to say thank you from the bottom of our heart, and I'll restate the clause. And frankly, as Mr. Delgado also said, we would not have a park that looked quite this good if we didn't have their contribution. We've got some special folks with us from that company. The company is Universal Property and Casualty. We have Stacy Tomko, who is the Executive Vice President of Marketing. Just hold until I get David Ahern, raise your hand, Vice President of Marketing, and Benjamin Babbitt, Marketing Director. So let's give them a hand specifically. To show our appreciation, if you three would step up here for just a moment. What we consider to be the highest honor we give, the statement that says, we want to present to you something that expresses our appreciation and how very special you are to us. And frankly, the highest award that we provide in the City of Lakeland is a key to the City of Lakeland. So to each one of you, I want to present a key.
Thank you so much.
And it opens Tony Delgado's office. None of the rest of us. But that's where all the money is anyway. So thank you very much. And I certainly want to tell you we appreciate you. And Stacy, would you come forward and share with us some ideas and tell us about the park and your contribution?
Sure, I will. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. We're obviously excited to be here. I was here in November at the town hall meeting to present the check for the refurbishment of the park. And it was the first community outreach project of that size and style for our company. So it was an exciting day for all of us, but I have to tell you today is much more exciting because we're celebrating the actual completion and grand reopening of this park. So thank you to the city for doing such an excellent job executing the project. But I'm at a lost for words right this second. Let's see. So I said this back in November, and I'm going to say it again because we didn't have all you wonderful people at that meeting. Universal Property and Casualty is a Florida-based company, and we've been here almost 20 years now. So it's very gratifying for us to be in the position now, today, to give back to the communities that have resident policyholders and agents right here in your backyard that have helped us get to the place we are today, and to be able to give a check that we did to your city. So you've done a wonderful job. We're happy to be here. And in closing, I'd like to just say, go Universal, go Lakeland, and I think I'm going to turn this over to Bob Donahue, and enjoy your new wonderful park.
Stacy, thank you so much, and I appreciate you introducing Bob. But before Bob comes up, want to say just one or two words about Bob. Those of you who know Bob Donahue know he's a bundle of energy. He's a guy who tries to make things get done. He's got a great team behind him, Pam Page, his assistant, and a number of others. Bob came to us, and Pam specifically came to us and said, we have a partner, and we think this is a great idea. They didn't have to sell too hard, because let me tell you, Bob and Pam know how to sell real well. And so I want you to give a big hand for this guy, because he does so much in this community outside of the parks and recreation realm, and many of you know that. And he sets a standard for much of what we do. So once again, Bob Donahue to speak a little bit.
I have the greatest job in the world. I get to thank individually folks that helped and contributed to the building of this park. These are the folks that were hands-on during all the hot summer days and the rainy days. And I just want to if you just hold your applause, I'm going to read their names. And if they could, just raise their hand. I'm going to start with the Parks Repair and Landscape. David Lampert, Mark Cochran, Austin Chestnut, James Bull, Danny Bell, who leads the group, Matt Toops, Jeff Haig, Danny Daughtry, Mikey Grimm, Jameson Dansby, Tim Fountain, Billy Ray, and Kaylee Massey. From our shop, I want to thank Carl Stully and Don Leverton. And from the route trucks, Janice Goosetree, Brian Essen, Artis Doby, Nathan Geiger, Rob Withrow. And then from our Public Works Department, our sister department, Manuel Meadows, Chris Patterson, Nick Hernandez, Humberto Perez, Jonathan Morales, James Wow, Robert Walls, and last but not least, Troy McCain. I want to take a time just to highlight, I appreciate everything that Tony said, don't get me wrong, it helps me keep my job another week, is that I want to thank Pam Page, never in the spotlight, but always takes the lead in our projects, from soup to nuts, putting the deal together, to buying, acquisition, organizing, the vendors that came here that we bought the product from, and also the employees' names that I just read. Pam, as she does with all of our projects, from soup to nuts, put this together. She won't right there in the polka dot shirt. Raise your hand. I'm going to point you out. Thank you so much for all you did. I'm going to introduce our police chief. I'm going to have him come up, say a few words real quick. Larry's a longtime friend, and he's also the greatest police chief I know. Of course, I only know one. But he's also a friend. He does a tremendous job. In every park that we build, we try to ensure safety, safety, safety for our residents. And Larry's been with us entirely, 100%, the whole way, him and his staff that are here. And we can't thank you guys enough. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Good afternoon. You know, as a police chief with our organization in the city, I can't tell you what this means to us. Anytime that we can do something positive for our kids, whether it's a pickup game of basketball, which throughout my 32-year career here with the city, I've seen a lot of basketball played out there, or whether it's the younger kids coming out to enjoy the various equipment that we have. Child obesity, idle hands, all of those things are addressed with what you folks have done for us. I can't tell you what it means to me, to our department. What the city Parks and Recs does is just great job from the city, from the mayor, from the commissioners. Everybody comes together. Our PAL organization, I see Tim out there. Give a wave, Tim, for our PAL program. The kids in Camp Blast. This addresses all of those things. It just says what a great community Lakeland is and how we come together to ensure a great quality of life. I don't want to take a lot of time, so thank y'all for coming out today. Have a great day. And again, to you folks, thank you so very, very much. It touches all of our hearts. Thank you.
Now at this time, we'd like to introduce the head of the Webster Park Neighborhood Association to say a few words. Sam Simmons.
Let me say good morning to everyone. Good morning. On behalf of the Webster Park Neighborhood Association and our residents, we just want to say thank you. We're so grateful for the improvements that have been made to this park. It's good to see this. As I was listening to the history of it, I can remember as a kid, even when and that was a school here, Webster Park School, and then after the school, there was a neighborhood service center that was sponsored by the city. Then after that, it became a park, and it's good to see how these improvements have come along. We want to thank all our benefactors who certainly Universal Property Casualty. We want to thank the CRA. We want to thank the City Parks and Rec. And I know we're going to enjoy this park. Again, thank you all for coming out.